Hello and welcome to the Measure of Whisky, where we discuss all things Scotch whisky. Today I'm going to tell you why you should never put ice in your whisky. Alright, so first off, I'm well aware this is going to be quite a controversial issue. I know there's lots of people out there have the opinion that you can throw as much ice in your dram as you want. It's up to you, it's a personal preference. I don't fall into that camp. For me, ice is an absolute no-no, and what I want to do is I want to explain to you, using cold hard facts, although not too cold, the exact reasons why you should never put ice in your whisky. Now firstly, I should state we're talking single malt Scotch whisky here, okay? Sure, if you're drinking bourbon, rye, or maybe even a blend, throwing a bit of ice in there might be okay, sure. You're still not going to get the exact character that the distiller wants you to, but when we're discussing single malt Scotch whisky, ice is a hard no. And whilst we're here, I'm going to do a little bit of an experiment as well, just to display exactly the difference that ice can have when you put it into a single malt Scotch whisky. So what I have in front of me, 2 drams of an Arran-10, okay, somewhere behind me over there. Really great dram. It is nice and sweet, it's nice and subtle, but there's lots of complexities in the aromas and in the flavours in this dram. I really enjoy an Arran-10. It's definitely one of my go-tos. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep one neat. They're both neat at the moment, they've nothing in them at all, and then I'm going to throw some ice in one of them, and I just want to explain to you exactly what the difference is. So I mean, first off the bat, beautiful nose. I love the nose on this Arran-10. It is super sweet, has a real nice sort of a fresh hint to it as well. So let's put some ice in. Okay, we'll give that a little bit of time here to work its not magic. Here's the dram with the ice in it. On the nose, what difference does it make? Honestly, I can hardly smell anything coming out of this. It's dull, it's completely dead. Honestly, unbelievable. If you've never tried this experiment at home, give it a shot. You'll be amazed at the difference. There's as close to nothing coming out of that. The aroma, the nosing on it is just completely died. So there's nothing there, it's just dull. It could be anything in that glass. And the reason for that, here's the science behind that. So the congeners in the whisky, that's what provides you with the aromas, with the smell, and with the tastes as well. Okay, I said the word congeners there, but before we go any further, I want to just give you a brief explanation of what congeners are. So throughout the distillation and the fermentation process, chemical compounds naturally occur within the whisky. These are known as congeners, and each individual distillery will make sure that they have a certain level or a certain amount or a certain type of congeners within their whisky, which will add to the overall nosing and flavour profile. There are lots of congeners in Scotch whisky. They are incredibly important to the overall experience when you're drinking the dram. At a certain temperature, the congeners become dormant. Right? When you get them low enough, the temperature low enough, the congeners become dormant, and therefore they do not allow themselves to leave the glass. We want them to be volatile. We want these congeners in here to be volatile. That's a good reason why a lot of people will do a little bit of swirling. It just makes them a bit more volatile and it releases the aroma. But if you throw ice in it, it brings the temperature down so much that you completely kill the congeners off. They're dormant. And you get next to nothing. There's a little bit of an ethanol smell coming out of it, just purely from the alcohol, but you're not getting any enjoyment from that nosing experience at all. Okay, what about taste? Does it have an impact on the actual taste? So, neat, beautiful, smooth, wow. That's a real sort of green apple-y. A little bit of sweetness on the end of that. That's wonderful. Okay, let's try with ice. See how this goes. Oh, that's terrible. Of course, the first thing you notice is how cold it is. So your palate reacts instantly to how cold it is. But it's just dull. There's nothing coming out of that at all. You don't have that lovely warmth. You don't get that smooth action. You don't experience anything that you do when it comes out neat. It's unbelievable the difference that makes. And of course the finish is entirely different as well. When you're drinking your Scotch neat, coats the back of the throat, it hangs around for a little bit, which is fantastic. When you've got ice in it, it's so cold, it's just sharp, it just dies off really quickly. It's not enjoyable. So you really notice it in an unpeated, easygoing Highland malt. If you were to test this with a heavily peated dram, you're going to see even more of a difference. Even after all that explanation, I know for a fact there are people watching this saying, I don't care, I still like to put ice in my single malt Scotch whisky. My question to you is, why? Why would you do that? You're not getting the experience that the master distiller wants you to get. You're not experiencing it in its truest nature. Why would you purchase a single malt Scotch whisky to kill off those beautiful aromas and those beautiful flavours? Go buy a vodka, because it pretty much tastes the same. Don't waste your money. That's the part that I can't really understand, is why people would want to do that. Just to kill it off. I feel so sad for this dram right now. Really do. Maybe I can put it in the microwave and warm it up again. No, don't do that. That's not going to work. Okay, so there we have it. The reasons why you should never ever put ice in a single malt Scotch whisky is you will make those congeners dormant. They're not volatile. The temperature drops too fast. Therefore, you're not going to experience exactly what you want to experience when you're drinking single malt Scotch whisky. Don't let anybody tell you different. Slange.
On. This city's gonna be a mess.